all your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
Lulu Money, Snehapurvam.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
Taking education as a challenge, a catalyst to transform and build one as an all-rounder to face the challenges of life and society. This is the vision that steers educator Rajah Pillai. A professional teacher with 2 decades of experience, Ms. Pillai is a learning specialist, the first trained the trainer in neuro-linguistics programming, life coach, counselor, public speaker and a psychologist. Multifaceted and multidimensional, the triple master's degrees holder in psychology, yoga and public affairs, the compassionate and patient Ms. Pillai engages with a specific focus on psychological and educational development of her students. She has worked in the capacity of principal in Bahrain for a reputed Indian curriculum school and has a deep-rooted trust on the Indian education system, which she aims to portray in international platforms. A nationalist by heart, Ms. Pillai achieved this dream of hers in a recent documentary which she conceived and created, The Golden Glimpse, commemorating the 50 years of Indo-Bahrain bilateral ties. A resident in Bahrain for almost 20 years, she has captured the essence of the development of Bahrain and the contributions of Indian community in this documentary. A Toastmaster with excellent communication skills, Ms. Pillai has successfully created proven programs for students and teachers for their well-being and continuous professional development. Tonight on Success Statements from BMC Global Life, it is the very vibrant, socially committed teacher with proven calibers from India's cultural and economic centre down south, Chennai, Rajah Pillai. Teaching is an art. And when one does it with passion and commitment, it gains an extra elegance. Learning specialist, neuro-linguistics trainer, life coach, counselor, public speaker, and a psychologist. Rajah Rajeshwari, popularly known as Rajah Pillai, joining me on Success Statements from BMC Global Life. Good evening, Rajah, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Raji, for inviting me here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here today.
Yes, thank you so much for honoring us with your visit. And it's indeed always, it's a matter of happiness and joy to have a teacher around, isn't it? Yeah. Teachers are always, my mom is a teacher. I used to be once upon a time a teacher. Though it was not my chosen profession, I landed up being a teacher. But, so being that and seeing my mom, I know the value of being a teacher. It comes with a lot of sweet rewards, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Especially when you see your children anywhere
yes.
popping up and saying, "Ma'am, do you remember me?"
Yes.
Oh, that really excites you. It's amazing feeling, you know, can't express, need
yes.
to feel it.
Yes. So though I described you as a teacher, I know you've got a lot of additions to it. Your teaching is not limited to a classroom teaching. So in the next 1 hour's easy evening chat, let's get to know more about you for the audience of BMC Global Life. Let me start with you, the professional. Tell me about how did you become a teacher? Was this your passion?
I always thought, you know, if you could make a difference in the life. I've seen teachers making a big difference. In my school, I remember a couple of teachers who have created an impact.
Yes.
And I thought if you can create an impact anywhere, it could be at your early stage of learning, and that can happen through a teacher. Either it could be your principal, or it could be your teacher, or it could be anybody from school, you know, can have a greater influence. So I thought, okay, also my mother was a teacher.
Okay.
So she was teaching Hindi in Tamil Nadu. So she was also an influence to me. Very smiling, and I've seen her being committed and dedicated. So I thought, yes, why not? So at a very young age, maybe I just completed my grade 12. And then my mother was working in a school. We thought of starting a school immediately.
Okay.
So she being a qualified, trained teacher, I being a person who's good in marketing and other things, in you know, public interactions and things like that, we got into school.
Okay.
And we opened a school. I think I was 19, 20 when I, you know, met high dignitaries of educational field and things like that, got the sanctions and everything done, and then we started a school.
Where was this?
This was in Chennai.
Okay.
It was in CBSE school till grade 8, and there started my career as I
What is the
directly
name of
started
this school?
Lalit Vidyalaya.
It's still there?
No,
Or is-
we closed in 2008.
Okay, okay.
She was sick, my mom fell sick, and no one to take care, and I was here in Gulf. I couldn't go and continue there,
Okay.
so we had no other choice than to.
All right. So were you into teaching or into admin and?
I was into everything.
Okay.
Because it was practically my space there, technically my mom's, but then I used to take care of all the other things, like syllabus setting, teachers, and then more I'm interested in cultural activities. So that was another scope for me to, see my children dancing and taking them diverse, like public speaking. I like children learning to speak at a very young age. So all that was like, something delightful in a platter, like where you can cater to all other holistic development of a child, I would say.
Right. Okay. Did you do your teaching degree and was
No, later I did.
Any specific subject that you taught? Or?
I actually, because it was in primary section, and if you are good in English, it's easy to manage till grade 5, basically. So I started teaching not as a full-fledged. I started my college simultaneously, taking care of the school as well. So then I did my B.Ed, Bachelor's of Education, because that is mandatory if you want to be a teacher. So did that and slowly, started progressing in that field.
Right. Teaching, of course, it's not just limited to classroom teaching, isn't it? And not just subject teaching. There are many other aspects, many other roles that a teacher play. More than like lion's share of the day a child spends at school in good old days. Now, of course, it's home.
Different.
It's different. Things have changed over the past 2 years. But no, coming back to that, there are many other roles, and I think you have touched upon some of those roles, like that of a counselor, isn't it? Tell us more about those.
Counseling is another major area. I feel most of the teachers, teachers who take up teaching should understand counseling. Reason being, it's a psychological aspect that we deal with children. Teaching also differs largely. Like we need to differentiate, there are few children who are good in visual aspects. You cannot just combine one method of teaching. So you need to know psychological aspects. Certain basic things is like required. So that's how I started, showing interest in learning more about psychology, and then ended up, in counseling psychology. It really helped, when I connect with children. It becomes very easy, it's just like it flows. They just open up and they talk to you, and they come up with their problems. It becomes easy for us to handle them. End of the day, every child is like a flower, and, and every parent is so happy to see their children bloom. And as a teacher, if you can enhance their holistic attitude. Studies doesn't mean just scoring high in the papers. It means like how you see yourself, how you see your society, how you get to mingle with people, how you excel in
holistic education.
Holistic. It's about every aspect. It's spiritual well-being, it is health. Many people I see, highly educated people, totally ignoring their health. If you do not imbibe at an early stage, then it's going to be tough for them to balance, That's where people lose balance once they become successful in their life. They lose somewhere here. But then from the beginning, we imbibe all these things in education. It will help big time for people to be happy successfully as well as be healthy, so that it becomes a perfect combination. This could be taught in schools by teachers who are dedicated, and also should have a little bit of counseling, more like psychological background. It will help them big time, in my opinion.
Right, okay. And in Bahrain also, I think you took to teaching, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about your Bahrain teaching.
Bahrain, I started in one of the Indian curriculum school. And as a school counselor I started. Then I have the flair to teach, so I requested my director, give me 2-3 hours of teaching, because I would love to have direct connection with the students. As a counselor, not a big scope, you have here.
Yeah.
So then started teaching, so that connected me more with children. And counseling here is fine, but I feel, it has to be enhanced more. General psychology in schools, it's okay, but the way it is taken in a different way, it looks like, children having problem are addressed. Not really, you don't need to. I mean, you can just reach out to classes in school. You don't have to be just in the classroom. I mean, they can be a part of curriculum also. I think they have to work on that.
Okay. So you have triple masters, isn't it? Were you an academically bright student, or is it what that? And I think you have masters in yoga for a change, isn't it? And what are the other two?
I have masters in yoga. I have masters in public affairs.
Public affairs.
Public affairs, and in psychology.
Unique choices, isn't it? And they are linked. I can see that they are linked. Did you by choice did that, or how did it happen?
Yeah, see, actually when I started my masters, I wanted to do public administration.
Okay.
But then when I came across something called public affairs, which had international relations and international studies, which fancied me. I said, that was the first of the kind in University of Madras. I said, okay, I was a regular student.
Okay.
So I went and did that. The minute, after a point of time, as I said, as a teacher, as an educator, I felt psychology becomes a part of, integral part of teaching community. I felt that. So I felt the compelling need to do my psychology. So I did that. Then I felt health is really, really, really important. When you talk about just mental health, it doesn't help. You need to know, psychological aspects as well as health aspects. So then I said, yoga is something really ancient Indian knowledge. It has wealth of information in there. It talks about how to eat, how to be, how to keep your mental health. It talks about almost everything. It doesn't, a 360 degree knowledge that you get from a course like that. So I said that's required. So I need to tell my children if something is wrong. It could be the food that they eat, or it could be some simple exercise which can help them to, come out of sadness. Couple of exercise makes them feel good. Even the food that they eat, all these things help us to, really keep a track of the complete, what do you say, in a nutshell. So I said that will also help. Then later, after I finished my yoga in masters, I wanted to know how these yoga poses help each muscle and tissue and things like that. So then I did, biochemical mechanisms of yoga on the physical body. So I did a crash course even on that. So I've been doing just to know more about mind and body as much as I can.
Right. And I think you're also into NLP, or Neuro-Linguistics program, right? I think you must explain to the audience. I'm sure most of them know out there, but still, let's explain to those who out there do not know about NLP. And correct me if I'm wrong, NLP has become popular amidst the COVID and as we emerge post-COVID days. What is your take on it? And I think you're the first one to train the trainer in Bahrain, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us about NLP first.
Neuro-linguistic programming. More about how we interact with people. When we interact with people, our words, linguistics, largely depend on your neurology. So every word that we utter, I've read somewhere your word is your wand. I remember one of the books, it says word is your wand, and it's a beautiful book again. Every word that you utter clearly explains your neurology. So it's NLP teaches you how to use the words in order to enhance yourself, make yourself better, communicate much better with people, even communication with yourself. If you talk about effective communication, it's not just the language or the linguistic excellence, it's about whatever language that you speak to yourself. I feel down sometime. How do I address myself? It's also very important how I communicate to myself. All these things help you to progress in life. Okay, there are ups and downs. Ups are fine. When it is downs, how do you handle it? Okay, how do you talk to yourself? How do you, okay, you see your spouse being down, how do you explain? How do you handle? You see your children being down sometime, how do you handle? How do you communicate effectively with them? As we all know, communication is almost 70% of your tone and body cues and all those things. So how do you understand, how is the rapport created? Rapport is really a powerful tool that you can use to influence communicating better with each other. So all these things, neuro-linguistic programming helps us to understand a lot of things. It's a cutting edge, scientifically proven methods to make ourselves understand how we can be much better. Today I'm fine, tomorrow I'll be much better version of Rajah Pillai. Similarly, each one of us want to be better off, every day. Better off in the sense how I communicate to myself, how I see things around me. Something is depressing me, okay, how do I handle it? Somebody is really pulling me down, how do I handle it? Somebody is really praising me, how do I take it?
Yeah.
Sometimes we operate on ego, and then the ego really spoils a lot of relationship. So how do I handle it? If I don't address certain things of myself, you call it a weakness, you call it a strength, whatever it is. It's a combination of both, how we project ourselves. So NLP gives us a very clear idea of who we are and how we communicate with people in order to be successful. Now, when we talk or when we interact with something, there is some set goal that we have. If it is a desirable set goal, or whatever you expected has happened, it gives you happiness, right? So NLP helps you to accomplish that desired outcome.
Okay.
How do you achieve it? Lot of techniques are there, scientific techniques.
How popular is it in Bahrain?
It's quite popular in the West.
Okay.
Okay, West, yes, Western countries.
And in Bahrain?
In Bahrain, not that much. Very few people know about it. In India, it has become a booming, I think every person knows about, not every person, every third person knows about NLP. Bahrain, not many know about it, very few. Very few know about it.
Do you think we could, there are avenues which this could be promoted, and does it have anything to do with the pandemic, post-pandemic?
Yes, NLP, see, in this period when I was sitting in the house because of the pandemic, that's when I went online. And when I went online, it was amazing. I could connect with, from any part of the world. It became so easy.
Yes.
It became so easy, and people were easy to accept. And I've seen few people did from Bahrain also, and they were so happy to learn it. They got certified also. I also give certification, ECNLP, which is European Council, as well as APC, which is Associate Professional Coaching certificates from UK and from European Council.
Okay.
So both the certifications I can give. Now the point here is, in the pandemic, it helped me, I would say. I was actually 8 to 9 months, I was packed with my course.
Okay.
I didn't have time. That's what I can say, but I connected with multiple people across the world. Bahrain takers are less because the awareness is less. They don't understand. If you explain them, they're happy to take.
Okay.
So we need to explain them. We need to give them a lot of sneak peek of it for them to understand what it is. But whoever does it, they said, wow, we need to have at least a basic course is a must.
Yes. Okay. Let the wow effect linger for a while.
Yeah.
We take a break and come back shortly on success statements with Rajah Pillai.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables. Sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods. Dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
Welcome back to Success Statements from BMC Global Life, and tonight with me is the vibrant Rajah Pillai. Rajah, another title to your name is Life Coach. I've heard this title, honestly. I haven't delved much into it since I have a life coach sitting in front of me. Tell me, what does a life coach do?
No matter how successful we become, as I told you, ups and downs are there always in our life. So when there is something that which we cannot handle, it's always better to have a life coach who can help us to get back.
So is it something like a counselor?
It's more like a counselor. Counselor is like, will give you solutions.
Okay.
Okay. Counselor will more like get to know what is your problem, and will give you more of solutions. Life coach does not give you solutions. He makes you to think. He makes you to think so much that you yourself will come with solutions. See, I'm in a problem. I know the solutions. You're in a problem. You know the solutions, but we do not have the clarity to look into those things. Life coach takes you to that level, makes you understand what are your resourceful status. We all are resourceful, and just to get us to that again, to that place, life coach plays an important role. If I tell you, Raji, do this, do that, you will say, no, it doesn't work. Have you advised teenagers? They'll say, no, it doesn't work for me. Maybe for you, but it doesn't work for me. This is the best option. But if you tell them, they'll say, no. That's where, the counselors and coaches differ. Okay, we ask you, what works better for you in this case? So you come out with solutions because you know the resources, you know where you stand, you know your plus and minus, you know how you can handle. So you come with, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have done that. So life coach literally helps you and takes you from where you are and puts you back in your resourceful state and your desired place where you want to be back. So I think in most of our career, I've had a life coach for some time. I've had a mentor who mentors me.
Maybe knowingly and unknowingly we must have had one, isn't it?
Yes, knowingly also, unknowingly also.
It reminds me of a movie. I don't know, I forgot the name. That Love You Zindagi?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah,
the song
I think so.
is
Yeah.
Love You Zindagi.
Love You Zindagi.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes.
Alia Bhatt.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he a life coach in that?
Yes, he is. He does not give solutions to Alia, if you notice.
Yeah.
He just
guides
her.
to,
He just guides her in a very subtle way, influences her. It happens, Generally, I've seen if you start giving advice, nobody likes to take any advice because your advices are your resources. You see I see myself, and with my resources, I will start giving options which may not be suitable for people. So, that is a counselor's job. So that's why counseling, life coach, all these things are almost similar, but different hats to change.
Right.
You should know where to imply what.
So how do you train yourself as a life coach? You did that course?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are a counselor, you're a life coach. That's a very thin line, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you tend to
crossover when you do the job?
No, it depends. When I talk to people, when I deal with them, I know whether few people want you to tell what should I do. So you know, it's a different state. So you just judge, or you just understand the situation, what they are into, and accordingly you change. You know, if you have to be a life coach, you say, okay, let's do this.
Okay, let me also ask you, since I have an expert sitting in front of me, how do I know whether I need a life coach or a counselor?
You don't need to know. If you come to a person, someone who is handling both the areas.
Because, sorry to cut you, because we see a lot of counselors. Counseling is a common term, and counselor is a common person, we know.
Right.
So youngsters or even adults, they go to counselors, but life coach is
something
very
different,
rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Life coach is someone who holds you for over a period of time. Counseling finishes in a couple of sessions. Like I have this problem, and I go and talk to the counselor. They will give you a couple of sittings, and you're done with that.
So do you think a counselor should guide a person further to a life coach?
Yeah, counselors, whoever are calling themselves as counselors, should also learn a lot, because just pushing, advising does not help people to come out of, or even to take it, you know. Many people do not like, okay, they go for counseling to know what it is, and they say, no, it didn't help me much. It didn't help me much. So it means that, like, they should also learn. Upgrading is important. We need to be open for a lot of techniques. If we are really meant to help people, we need to, you know, see the different path that can lead. It can give you a different edge or different dimension of how we handle a person. We need to understand whether I should give counseling to this person or life coaching is better. If I say I want to become this and I need 6-7 months, so a life coach can help you, mentor can help you, can take you from here to in 6 months, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, mentoring, you know, because he's an expert in that field. Now if I want to be a journalist, I'll come to Raji, I'll say, mentor me, you'll be my mentor. So if I want to be something, in 6 months time I want to be that, in a year's time I want to be that. It could be anything. It could be your personal success, or it could be something that that is blocking you from becoming successful, some decision making. Sometimes the decision makings make a big role in our life. It may be a hurdle sometimes. So to know where I have decided, maybe I must have decided in grade 6. To know that, you know, we need to, you know, work on the timeline and to understand where the person has made a decision that is stopping her till now, or making her to believe that she's good at this. You know, there was a one of my client, she thought she can be a teacher for a long time. Because she thinks everybody said you can be a good teacher. And then later when I was talking to her, she wanted to be an interior designer. And somewhere in grade 5th or 6th, she decided that this teacher is very bad, I should be a good teacher, and you know, that is her decision making in the grade of 5th. She thought becoming a teacher is her, you know, drive or whatever. But then later we understood that she wants to be an interior designer, she wanted to create things like that. And then she said, okay, let me do something in interior designing and start my career like that. So there can be a huge shift, a complete 360-degree shift, or a complete whatever, you know, it depends how a person wants to understand themselves. Many times we understand ourselves in a different way, you know, because of the labels, because of people telling you you're good at this, good at that, and we just carry on with that, and we forget what we want to be.
Right.
You know, coaches help you to understand what you want to be.
Right. Okay, Rajah, let's come to your public profile. I'm aware that you are engaged socially, and I understand that you are a nationalist, a true nationalist. You have many social engagements besides your educator role, and how do you quantify your social commitments? What are the things that you do as a public person committed to the society? What are your engagements, rather?
My engagements in social person, meaning I'm not much into many clubs. I'm quite, what do you say, I have a focus. Like if I want to do something related to a particular topic, I would like to be in association with some and then do it. As a nationalist, I always think, you know, Indians have, wherever they go, they are goodwill ambassadors, any country they go, and I really want to showcase their contribution. And country like, where we are in GCC, there's a very high involvement of Indians in every sector, and how they have contributed to the developmental affairs of wherever they are, whether in Dubai or Bahrain or any part in GCC. Well, across the world, also it's the same scenario.
Yeah. So, yeah, what is your latest any kind of achievements in terms of your commitment to this nationalistic spirit?
Yeah, the one which is like, we recently premiered a documentary talking about the ties between India and Bahrain.
The Golden Glimpse.
Yes, the Golden Glimpse. That was my idea, discussed with Mr. Pradeep Kumar, who is the General Secretary of Navbharat. He gave a complete support, and he almost took this to the next level. I mean, it was a very short period. I think in October 19th is when I was discussing this with him, and immediately he said, let's do it right away. And then I think it's not even 2 months finished. We finished the interviews, we finished the shooting, we finished everything, and then also premiered it on 5th of January. Happens to be my birthday. It was.
Oh, okay.
It was coincidence. It was not planned.
All right. Okay.
Because of our couple of dignitaries who said Friday will not be possible, so we changed it to Wednesday 5th.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was supposed to be premiered on 7th of January.
Okay. I did see Golden Glimpses. I think you had a great team with you.
Yes.
You were the creative director, and I think
Raji was the director.
Yeah.
Ajit,
and Ajit,
Convicts was our media.
Yeah, of course. They are brilliant.
Yeah,
Their
they're
job
brilliant.
is always brilliant. Yeah, I saw the team and I saw the concept. Very well done. Kudos to the entire team. Rajiv, if you're watching me out there with us, congratulations to you. Ajit, that was a brilliant job. And the rest of the team. It was very nice. Very well conceived. And it was a timely production.
Very true. This is what, we wanted to release it on December 16th.
Okay, the National Day.
Yes, National Day. And it so happened, it was so short. Imagine October 19th is when we were discussing on the whole topic. And December 16th, it was difficult because getting interviews from dignitaries, their time, it was clashing, and somehow the team was like working, it was mad. I remember.
And the two girls who feature, is one Bahraini and one Indian?
Indian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mariam is Bahraini, Kavyashree is Indian.
Okay. Yeah, it was beautifully conceived and taken, and good narration. I love the narration too. Anyway, well done. Good job.
Thank you so much.
I think you're also into some other activities like dancing and...
Dancing is my passion.
Okay.
I would love, you play music, I don't think I will stop.
Okay. All right. Are you a trained dancer?
I was trained in my young days. I was a cultural secretary of my college. Used to look into all the, dance, but after I got married, no, not a big performer. But then that drive is always there. Recently, last year I made, in this pandemic, after the 8 to 9 months of online classes, I said, let me do something different. And something, which moves your hand and leg, because all the time you're sitting, and then came that Navratri.
Okay.
So when the Navratri came, I called Bansari Soni. She is an amazing girl from India. She also a dance teacher. I just called her. We just practiced for 2 days. Casually we were practicing, and then I said, let's film it. And then we filmed, and that was also, I think, it came out really, really well.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, is there anything else which you regard as what is needed in this, your social commitments? Is there anything that you hope to achieve?
Yes, I really want to open a school.
Okay.
I've been working on that.
In Bahrain?
Yes, in Bahrain as well as in India, in both the places. So, opening up a school which is catering to, I think I'll be one of the best educator for sure, being being in different sections of understanding a child right from the beginning, and can cater much more. So I really want to concentrate there. I feel at a young age, you give them a proper, platform of understanding and many things put together, I think we can make a big difference there, very big difference there. Yes, success is just not the marks on the paper, it's how you see your life, no matter what happens. You are there, your life is precious, you're 1 in a million. That needs to be taught to every child. Just the marks doesn't tell you what you are. I've seen backbenchers becoming tycoons and entrepreneurs. I've been front benchers becoming CEOs of the company. So it just depends how you take your life and how you see yourself in the world. We have to teach every child that you're 1 in a million. 1 in a million, no matter what. And you don't have any comparison with other person. You don't have to compare yourself. And if people label you that you're good at this, do this, you say, I'll find out what I want to do.
Right. That's an amazing definition of being successful, and that came from the life coach with me this evening on Success Statements from BMC Global Live, Rajah Pillai. Let's take a short break.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട, എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും. ലുലു മണി, സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909-6845, 3909-4806, 3885-2397, or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
All you
Welcome back to Success Statements from BMC Global Live, and with me is Rajah Rajeshwari. Well, I did not make a mistake. That is Rajah. That is your actual name, isn't it? Rajah Rajeshwari.
Yes.
In this segment, when we touch upon your personal, you the person, let's begin with his name.
Okay.
Rajah Rajeshwari, the name of the goddess. How did you manage to shorten it to Rajah? I've seen it shortening it to Raji, as in my case. But how did it go to Rajah?
Raji is like my very close friends call me Raji.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, usually in India, people call me as Raji. And when I came to Bahrain, I started calling myself as Raj. Most of the North Indian friends used to call me as Raj, not Raji.
Okay.
Hi Raj, Mrs. Raj, like that. So in my school also, they used to call me Mrs. Raj. So then Mrs. Raj became Rajah. Most of my Arabic friends used to call me Rajah. Used to say Rajah, okay? That's the way they call. So that I said, okay, fine, for a change, instead Raji, let it be Rajah.
Okay.
Okay. And then Pillai, because most of them used to ask me, you don't look like a South Indian from any angle. So I said, okay, my second name will make it clear that I'm from southern part of the world.
You're from Chennai, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a mix of all the three states, Andhra, Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
What do you mean by that?
So I have my bases in all the three places.
Okay, but you are from...
But studied, lived in Chennai.
Okay, and your parents are from Chennai?
They live in Chennai.
They live in Chennai, okay. And what about your family in Bahrain? How long have you been in Bahrain?
It's been 20 years more
okay, all right.
now. It's been 20 years and what else?
Your family?
I'm blessed with 2 children.
Okay.
Older is my son who is doing his third year engineering in Canada, and my daughter is doing her 11th grade in Al-Noor.
Al-Noor.
Yeah.
And your husband?
My husband is working with one of the companies.
Okay.
Mr. Ravi.
Okay. Ravi.
He's into accounts. His
all
major
right.
is accounts.
Okay, okay. And what are the names of your daughter and son?
My daughter's name is Kavya Shri.
Okay.
She is
the one in the video? Okay.
Yeah, the one in the document. It was a difficult time to make her accept for that. She's not much happy in front of the camera, but she loves to do behind the camera.
Right.
She loves to learn the technicalities of camera and editing and all that. But in front of the camera, I mean, we really made her to do it.
Okay, all right.
Kailash is in Canada and doing his studies.
Okay, all right.
His name is Kailash.
Kailash, okay. What are your hobbies and passions? If at all you have any free time, what do you do during the free time?
I love to play. I play football it started in my college. I started with cricket. Cricket was
I remember, I think we had a chat before when Dhoni resigned.
Yes,
on a similar show.
Yes, we had that.
Yeah, okay.
Cricket was my, I just loved to play cricket. That's how I started cricket in my college days. And then my physical director, she told me, Raji, take another one because I want you, because football, we don't have much girls there. I said, okay, fine. Then I started playing football. And when I started playing football, my complete shift was, to the football. I somehow started loving soccer and I felt this is more like good. I used to play right striker and one of the proud moment is I played for Tamil Nadu Federation, state player, as well as I did 2 universities. Twice I represented Madras University. That was one good thing that I did, in sports. Something really good those days. With that you can even take a central government job, which I didn't know then.
Yeah.
So then later that drive was always there. So when I get time I used to play with my children, football and cricket, and then later got connected with sports association here and started playing cricket for women's cricket team. Before pandemic we used to have regular cricket teams.
Something recent as well, right? Did you have something on the women's cricket?
Yeah. Recently they had with Karnataka Sangha and all that,
okay.
which I didn't take part because I had some other commitment, so I couldn't take part. But given a choice, I would love to go outdoor and play.
Okay.
So cricket being one.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you sing?
Yes, I'm a trained classical singer.
Then that calls for a...
I've done Indian lower grade music from Music Academy.
Whoever has told me that they sing on this stage had to sing.
No, please don't do that.
Yeah,
you're on live.
That's okay. Live, people have sung on live. Since you're a trained singer, do you want to give it a try?
It's been 20 years, Raji, since I opened my mouth.
Okay.
For singing. For talking, yes.
Okay, all right, okay. So that was a beautiful chat, Raja or Raji. Thank you for joining us. And this new year, this new month, the fresh month, you being a holistic educator from all aspects and a sports enthusiast and an arts enthusiast, what is your one tip to people out there, especially at a time when we are all battling a tough situation, unprecedented times? What is your one tip?
So this is what I tell this to myself, which I'm sharing it with you. Life is beautiful. There is no gain, there is no loss. Everything is a gain. There is absolutely no loss. So whatever you do, take it as a credit and see it as a gain. So it's something, today I'm here, it's a gain. Today I'm doing something else, it's a gain. Nothing is a loss. So if you see things that I've lost here, I've lost that, I should have been there, this gives you a setback, in progressing further. But if you see it as a gain, every step that you take gives a big impact in your life. The word depression, the word sadness will be at a bay. You will see everything as a gain in your life, because your life itself is beautiful. That itself, every minute, every breath that you take itself is beautiful. So give it a happy thought. Today meeting you is wonderful. Thank you so much, that you have invited me here. Thanks to BMC team. I'm really happy. That's what I say. Life is beautiful. Keep celebrating every minute, because every breath, especially in pandemic, we know how important the breath is.
Yes.
Breathing is so important. People have started working on breath work and things like that. So every breath is important. Celebrate your life. Keep going and keep going.
Thank you very much for that joyful note of conclusion. Yes, let us celebrate life. That was the multifaceted, multi-talented, vibrant and chirpy, holistic educator, Rajah Rajeshwari, with us on Success Statements from BMC Global Live. Until we meet next week with yet another guest, this is Raji Unnikrishnan signing off. Good night. Thank you, Rajah, for joining us. From Team BMC, we have a small memento for you. I call Praveen Krishna, the Media and Admin Head of BMC, to hand you the memento.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Raji.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. The pleasure was ours.
all your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട, എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും.
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909-6845, 3909-4806, 3885-2397, or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.